Okay, so when you're writing equations and drawing graphs to fit a narrative, you need to read through the question carefully. And so this one is talking about Keiko, who is a software saleswoman. Her monthly salary is $2,200 plus an additional $70 for every copy of English is Fun she sells. We're going to let S represent her total salary for the month in dollars, and N represents the number of copies of English is Fun that she sells. Okay, so let's set up kind of a little chart here and see what happens to her salary depending on the number of copies of the book that she's selling. Okay, so obviously if she sells 0 copies, 0 is always a good one to start with, then her salary would just be the flat fee of $2,200. Now what happens if she sells 1 copy? Well, most of you will say that her salary then would be $2,270, right? So think about what you did to get that. You just took the $2,200, her base salary that she gets, and added $70 to that. Well, what happens if she sells 1 more than that? So she sells 2 of them. Well, then you're going to add 70 on to that again. Okay? So that's going to be 2,340. Okay, so you can see the process here. You could keep going, or you could just say, okay, what happens if I like to pick 10 a lot of times, because 10's a good number to calculate things with. And so if she sells 10 copies of English is Fun, then we know we've got her base salary of $2,200, and then you have to think about, okay, how would I find out this part of her salary for those 10 additional books? Well, that would be 70 times 10. Okay, and there's your $700 additional dollars, which gives her a salary of $2,900. Okay, so now you have actually enough information to come up with the equation, because this is giving you a big clue. What are you doing? What if I replace this 10 here with N? Then the amount of salary would be $2,200 plus 70 times N. And this is actually the equation you're going to write. S, the salary, equals basically the flat rate, the $2,200, plus $70 times the number of books. So here's the equation. And by the way, if you wanted to put this in S equals 70N, it's supposed to be 0, 70N plus 2,200, then it's in slope-intercept form, and you could use that. So this would be the same thing as what I had here. Okay. And then you're going to graph it. So now the salary depends on how many books are sold. So we put our independent variable N here and the salary here. Okay, now a lot of times these values are going to be already determined on your graph that you're using in ALEKS. So make sure you're paying attention to the values on here. So for example, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then let's say that this was 200 or 250 even. That might be 500. This would be 750 and 1,000. And I can see I should have made this bigger. So this will end up being 1500, and I'm not going to have enough room on my chart here. So I needed more space here, but just for our purposes, you can see here I'd plot the point 0, 2200. So 0, 2200 is going to be up here somewhere. Okay, and you can use the value in ALEKS to plot that exact point. And then you're going to go and plot the point, maybe go out to 10, or you pick a value in between here. So if I did 10 and 2900 and I plotted that on my graph, it looks something like this. And then I'd connect those. So sorry, I should have planned ahead and planned that graph there a little bit better. So this is what this would look like. So, and they did plot the 250 here, and you can see that this is not the exact point. So you can't just use the pen